Well, good morning, everybody. I wanted to make a quick video to go over the classwork assignment that I'm going to have you do today. And we are going to be learning about value. So you should already have your value scale. You want to have that out next to you when you're doing your drawing. And we are going to begin creating a ribbon-inspired drawing. So I created these handouts for everybody. And they are a step-by-step of how to draw a ribbon, which I'm going to show you. And you can even see I went into adding value. And then the little spheres. So we're going to talk to you about the different areas of highlight on a sphere. So I'm going to do a quick drawing of this, and I'm gonna draw a little bit harder than I would normally. But the ribbons are very simple. It does not matter what type of line you use. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. You want to use kind of a very curvy line, but the most simple ribbon is this ribbon that doubles back on itself. And I have a very simple rule for you to follow. Everywhere you see a curve, I want you to draw a line down. Now, if it runs into another line, stop it, like right there. But you can see, just by doing that simple technique, I've got more than half the ribbon. You can also follow that same principle at the ends of your line here. And this is where you can have a little bit of fun later. For now, I'm just going to stick with like straight line. And then it's to get the line on the bottom, it's whatever line is on top goes down here. So if there is a tiny little curve like there is on that one, I add it. This one kind of goes upwards. I'm going to make my line go upwards. And this one has that like little half dome kind of shape, so I'm just going to dome the shape. And there's my first ribbon. Now, when it comes to adding value, I want you to look at your value scale because that's all we're going to make. So wherever a ribbon curves, so for instance right here and right here, you're going to have value. But this is going to be my darkest value. So one of the things that helps me is I'm going to imagine my light source is somewhere here. So my light is going to be traveling in this direction. So the areas that are in black are going to be your darkest value. So this would be the square on your value scale that you colored in black. So I'm going to color it in black. I think you get the point. I'm going to work with this part right here. Now, this area here is going to be in shade. This area here isn't. So obviously, the white and the other lightest value are going to be down towards this end. So you're going to make a gradation, which is essentially a value scale without boxes, moving from this point to that point, from dark to light. So it's not going to start with black. I'm going to get rid of this X. So the box next to black or right around black is where I'm going to start. But I'm not going to press super hard. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to lay down a dark value. Now I'm doing all of this by pressing. Not pressing super hard, but I am pressing. I'm going to make this a little bit darker. I don't want it to be this dark, but I do want it to be a little darker. Now I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to make my gradation. I'm just going to add a little bit of graphite to the paper. A little messy right now. Now, this is, or if you wanted to use a little bit of smudging, you could. Not down here, because I want some good chunky dark shapes. But towards this end, I can actually, paper towel works better than that. I'm going to add a tiny bit of smudging. And then I'm just going to go over it. You don't ever want to leave it super fuzzy. It just doesn't look good. And I'm going to get to a point where if you smack my arm, my hand would fly up off the paper. And then I'm just going to go back in and I'm going to smooth out my gradations by pressing either lighter or harder. And, it takes a little bit of practice, but I know you can do it. Right? And you're going to repeat that step here and then color this in here. Now, my formula works with no matter what kind of line you draw. And so let's go really crazy. The formula still applies. Anywhere there's a curve, you draw a line down. If the curve, don't panic, and then I'm going to put a line down on either one of those. And then this line here goes there. Stop drawing when it runs into another line. I'm going to make this longer. This one has like a cool little sweep. It's that one. This kind of comes down. Put that one. We'll make that disappear. And then this swings around in right there. And then it's the same thing. You're going to color that in black. This little peekaboo black. This one's going to be a bit different because it's got some real estate to it. So your black is going to go here. The gradation is going to go that way. The gradation here, 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 and here. And that's where we get our three-dimensional effect. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how many curves you draw in your ribbon. Some of you can really push the limits. You can make these long, a little bit thicker. It really doesn't matter to me. But what I do want you to do is I want you to practice drawing some ribbons. So in your sketchbook, you're going to open up to a 2-page spread, and you're going to create those ribbons. The one thing I didn't talk about, but it was also simple, is a sphere. It's a circle. They don't need to be perfect, but there are some parts of the shadow on sphere that you need to know about. You're always going to have this dark area. Now, we're drawing a three-dimensional sphere, so this is not going to be a straight line. Think of a tennis ball. Right? Tennis ball on a flat. So you're going to have your dark shadow. You're going to have your middle tone. And sometimes the middle tone wraps around just like that. And then you're going to have an almost white section. And then you're going to have the highlight. And it's created a value scale. Here's one. Second value. Third value. And watch this. You can just use the tool that you thought was just for mistakes to go in and create a really nice highlight. There you go. You apply that principle for the rest of the sphere, and what you end up with is a really cool looking three-dimensional shape. So, I hope this little video helped you out with today's classwork. You can always swing by room 115 if you're running into any problems, and happy drawing.